Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Midweek Momentum. I'm your host, Marty M. Fahncke, and I'd like to thank you for joining us. Whether you're here live or whether you're listening to the recording, I hope to give you some great and valuable information that you can use in your business. Today, the topic is the power of the mastermind, and I'm really excited to bring that topic with you, or to you, actually. And it's a topic that's something that I've been meaning to address on Midweek Momentum for a little while. And we've just had so many other topics we've been covering that I haven't really had an opportunity to do so. So I'm really excited to get to it. To get started, I want to open up the polls real quick, and I would like to have you tell me if you are, it's not in here. See, I was having some polling problems earlier. So do me a favor, use the question feature. And just send me a quick note and tell me if you are currently participating in a mastermind or not. So just use the little question feature and send me a note. Just tell me yes or no whether you're participating in a mastermind currently or not. That'll kind of help me get a pulse of exactly who we have here. So I'm seeing some no's, some no's, no's. Oh, okay, awesome. There's a yes, no, no, yes. Okay. So that tells me that most of you are not currently participating in a mastermind, which is cool because that way you're in a nice, juicy, right audience for this topic. I'm excited to present it to you. So let's get started and talk about what is a mastermind. And I'd like to touch on just a history of masterminding a little bit. Some people look at masterminding clear back in biblical times, but I think masterminding really started in a formal way in 1730 by Benjamin Franklin. And Benjamin Franklin started what he called a junto, which was established in either 1727 or 1730. There's conflicting information on that. But he started in Philadelphia, and it was a group of friends to provide a structured forum of mutual improvement. And it initially had 12 members. And here's some a writing directly from Benjamin Franklin's diary, and the date again is a little bit obscure, so we're not quite sure which year it was. But it says, in the autumn of 1727 or 1730, I formed most of my ingenious acquaintances into a club of mutual improvement, which we called the junto. We met on Friday evenings. The rules that I drew up required that every member in his turn should produce one or more queries on any point of morals, politics, or natural philosophy to be discussed by the company, and once in 3 months produce and read an essay of his own writing on any subject he pleased. Our debates were to be under the direction of a president and to be conducted in the sincere spirit of inquiry for truth and without fondness for dispute or desire for victory, and to prevent warmth all expressions of positiveness in opinions or direct contradiction were after some time made contraband and prohibited under small pecuniary penalties. So in modern English basically said it was a group that was put together and everything needed to be positive, truthful, and there was no winner or loser when it comes to mastermind group. Now, something interesting to note, we all know how successful Benjamin Franklin was in his life, but he started his mastermind group or his junto when, depending on the date you look at, he was either 21 or 24 years old. And he basically leveraged that mastermind group into being one of the most successful and influential politicians and statesmen of all time. Now, Andrew Carnegie, who was arguably one of the most successful industrialists of the entire Industrial Revolution, was also a huge fan of the mastermind group. But he didn't tell anybody about it until Napoleon Hill. Andrew Carnegie disclosed the power of the mastermind group to Napoleon Hill, who then wrote it in his book Think and Grow Rich in 1937. And here are a couple of segments from the book that are quotes from Andrew Carnegie and from Napoleon Hill about mastermind groups. So a mastermind group is simply an alliance of 2 or more individuals dedicating themselves to a specific goal. Now, Napoleon Hill defined it as a coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now, according to Napoleon Hill, Mr. Carnegie's mastermind group consisted of a staff of approximately 50 men with whom he surrounded himself with a definite purpose of manufacturing and marketing steel. He attributed his entire fortune to the power he accumulated through this mastermind. Now, really amazing when you think about he was one of the wealthiest and most influential men in American history, and he attributed that wealth and power to mastermind groups. So if you're not masterminding, I hope right now you're thinking, maybe I need to be. So a couple of the benefits that Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie identified is that you have a group of people available to help you succeed. You get the benefit of differing perspectives, input, and feedback. Your mastermind team can bring resources and connections that you might not have on your own, and you receive accountability and inspiration from the group. And Napoleon Hill even went so far as to say there was a mystical quality created when a mastermind group was formed, and he said, and I quote, "No two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind." In other words, your ability to create things in this world is increased by having that invisible third mind of the mastermind group. And Carnegie again said it was the power of the mastermind group that enabled him to become one of the richest men in America. And one of the members of my mastermind group this week said that she feels that the power of the mastermind group is it raises her IQ points to 1,000 because the combined IQ and the combined intelligence of the entire mastermind group is what she is able to tap into and leverage. So that's a little bit of a history. So let's talk a little bit more about what a mastermind group is in practicality. It's usually a group of about 6 to 8 people. You don't need to have 50 people like Andrew Carnegie did. You don't have to have 12 people like Benjamin Franklin did. Most mastermind groups work best with 6 to 8 people, although up to 12 people can work. I would not recommend that you get up to 50. That wouldn't work too well. Should have a common interest or goal. Like Andrew Carnegie had, his mastermind intention was to create and manufacture and distribute steel. It's best if your mastermind group does have some sort of a theme or a goal. Now, that does not mean everybody in the group should be the exact same person or have the same job. For example, if you're in the real estate business, I don't recommend you form a mastermind group with nothing but real estate people. I recommend you have a diverse mastermind group, maybe with the common interest of, if you're in real estate, maybe you could have an insurance person, a title person, a mortgage person, an appraiser, people who maybe are involved in your industry but aren't directly competitive necessarily, or they're all going to be the exact same job. So common interest, but they don't have to all be the exact same interest. Dedicated to supporting each other. That's really important. Everybody in a mastermind group is there for each other. They're there to support each other, to help each other grow, to grow each other's businesses, to help each other grow personally. So there needs to be a commitment among the members that they will support each other. And there are 2 different kinds of mastermind groups that I've been involved with. One is an accountability, and the other one I call it creative. That's not a term that you'll see described. I kind of made that up, but an accountability mastermind group is one where maybe you come to the group and you state a specific goal. I'm going to, sell this many widgets this week and make 200 cold calls and write a newsletter article. And then when you get together again with your mastermind group, they hold you accountable to that, and they ask you how you did with it and what your results were. And it's a little bit more of an accountability. That's a great kind of mastermind group to have if that's an issue for you, and it can be very beneficial. The other kind is the creative mastermind group, and that's where you get together more for the purpose of brainstorming, problem solving, being creative about new ideas, new business objectives, things like that. So it's less about accountability and more about being creative, setting goals and objectives. So those are the 2 kinds of mastermind groups that I have been involved with. If you are familiar with maybe a different kind of model, feel free to use the chat feature and send me a note, and we can talk about that. But those are the 2 main ones. And the last thing about what a mastermind is it's a safe place. You've heard the old saying that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, what happens in a mastermind group stays in a mastermind group. You want to make sure that your mastermind group is comprised of people who you very much trust, because you want to be able to be open and honest and completely transparent in your mastermind group. And you need to know that the things that you say and do in that mastermind group are going to go no further than that group unless it's specifically dictated otherwise. So it's a safe place to share information, knowledge, problems, concerns, stressors, whatever you've got going on. Mastermind group is a great place to be able to share that because it's a safe place. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the benefits of masterminding. One of the biggest benefits, and this was brought about by one of my mastermind partners, is differing perspectives was her favorite benefit. And so, if you're looking at a problem in your business or in your life, and you probably only see it one way, and you probably only see one solution out of it. But other people can have differing perspectives that can be incredibly valuable. And to give you an example of that, I have a couple of pictures I want to show you. So make sure you're taking a look at the screen right now. And I want to just pull up the first one. So on this one, take a look at this picture. And you see in this picture, you see a Bengal tiger. And hopefully you see a Bengal tiger. And what I'd like to do is take a quick look at it. And there are also in this picture one or more hidden tigers. So take a quick look at it. I see the obvious one, but I want to know how many hidden tigers you see. So in 1 second, I'm going to go ahead and activate the poll, and then I want you to tell me how many hidden tigers you see. Okay, go ahead and click on the poll and tell me how many hidden tigers you saw in the picture before. Did you see none? Did you see 1, 2, 3, or 4 or more? Okay, go ahead and vote. See how many hidden tigers you saw in the picture a moment ago. Okay. I'll give you another 5 or 10 seconds to vote here. And we had some people. Okay, get your last votes in. A couple more. You're just coming in. Okay. Awesome. So the results are that we had some of you saw none. A couple of you saw 1. A couple of you saw 2, and a couple of you saw 3. And that's really interesting because now I need to close the poll here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we're looking at the picture again, and how many hidden tigers are in this picture? There's only 1 hidden tiger in this picture. If you saw more than 1, you're seeing things. And here's where the hidden tiger was. It's the words in the tiger. Here's hidden tiger, the hidden tiger. Can you see my cursor here? So that's how many hidden tigers there were in this picture. It's just 1. So if you guessed 1, you were right. And but if you guessed 0 or 2 or 3, which several of you did, that means that maybe it would have helped to have been in a mastermind group so that your perspective would have been a little bit more accurate. All right, here's another one. I didn't do a poll for this one because it's a little bit more abstract. But take a look at this picture and type in what you see here. Just tell me what you see. I'm going to keep it up here for about 10 seconds, and then I'm going to close it out, and I want you to type to me what you see in this picture. Okay? So about 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to pause that out. And so let's see what you guys type in. An old woman and an old man. Yeah. Okay. So we're getting some different, we're seeing Mexican musicians. We're seeing an old woman, old man. Okay. Street scene. Okay, good. All right. Mexican sombrero players. 2 faces, a player, a lady in the ear, a listener. Okay. All right, good. So you're all right. If you look at it one way, it is definitely 2 kind of old people. Their faces are looking at each other. Maybe they're in an embrace and getting ready to kiss. But if you look a little bit more clear, you see a person here, a guitar player. He's got a guitar. He's sitting down. a sombrero, smiling. You've got another person here who's holding like some sort of a pot on his head. This would be a fountain back here. This would be a street with a lady coming out of a doorway. These would be like Mexican blankets. So depending on your perspective, this is either two old people facing each other, or it's a couple of Mexican musicians on maybe a Mexican street scene. So again, you can see how different perspectives are important when you're considering a problem or a way to grow your business, which is the topic of Midweek Momentum, is propelling your business forward. How powerful would it be if every time you had a problem or every time you had a question, you had lots of other people that you could bring the problem or question to and get all the different perspectives for your problem? So different perspectives is one of the benefits of masterminding. Another one is raising your IQ. I touched on this a little bit ago when I mentioned how Pauline Wallen, who's one of my mastermind partners, had said that her IQ goes up to 1,000 when she's on our mastermind group, because there's a whole bunch of us and you add it all together and it goes up. Another one is to have like a board of advisors. Every business should have a board of advisors, people that you can turn to when you've got a big problem or big question. Your mastermind group can serve as a board of advisors. Another benefit of masterminding is that you can refer business to each other. When you're in a mastermind group, you definitely have the opportunity to get to know each other really, really well, get to know each other's businesses, and you find opportunities to refer business to each other so that you're all helping each other grow your business. Another one is collaboration. You may wind up doing business with your mastermind partners, even if they're people you weren't doing business with before. When you get to know somebody's business and a business person, as well as you do during a mastermind series, then you might find ways to work together and actually collaborate for your business. And the cool thing about masterminding is it's free. You do not have to pay anything to be in a mastermind group. There are mastermind groups that you have to pay for, but from all the things that I've read, seen, and talked to of people who've been in paid mastermind groups, there's no benefit to being in a paid mastermind group over being in a free one, because it's really all about the people involved. And if you get the right people involved, you don't need to pay a moderator, you don't need to pay an organizer, and you don't need to pay somebody else to run your mastermind group for you. It's very simple to do it yourself. Now I'm going to open up the line here to one of my mastermind members, Linda Allen, and I'd like to ask her a little bit about what she gets out of being in a mastermind. And she's in a couple of different mastermind groups, and most people I know are. I'm in 2 mastermind groups. I think she's in 2. And most people who really understand the power of masterminding are in more than one mastermind group at a time. So Linda, are you there?
I am.
Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So tell me, Linda, I've talked a little bit about the history of masterminds and how they work and the benefits of masterminding. What can you tell me about the reasons that you are involved in masterminding and the benefits that you get out of it?
Oh, I absolutely love my mastermind group. I get so many new ideas on how to look at things. For example, Felicia one time gave us, we every once in a while in our mastermind we have a presentation time where each person does a little presentation, just one at a time. Like we have one person give a presentation, and then about 6 weeks later we have another person give a presentation. And Felicia gave a presentation about giving your signature speech. I got so much out of that, and I was able to create, with her help from our mastermind, my signature speech for my company. I also love the new ideas that I got from Pauline when she gave the psychological aspect of marketing. So like you would talk different to a biker than you would to a doctor. So I get really a lot of new ideas. We also we help each other with our marketing. Like we look at each other's websites if we want to critique each other's website and help with that. Because sometimes we're just emotionally too close to our own businesses and we can't see. But one of the very best things is, like, when you're going through hard times, you have friends. And you have friends that are in an upward momentum. You have friends that are, progressive, instead of some of the people that you may be around sometimes kind of try to bring you down a little bit. But here you have friends that keep you in momentum. And with all their different businesses, their different ideas, and like the intelligence, the IQ that you have, the 1,000 points of IQ, and it just helps. It's just great.
How long have you been masterminding?
Probably about 10 years now.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't know you've been participating that long. Could you pinpoint? Could you put a dollar value on your participation in masterminds?
Oh no, it's worth more than anything.
Would you say it's more than 6 figures or more than 7 figures?
Absolutely. You cannot put a worth on it. I would not be who I am without my mastermind groups.
That's a great testimony right there. And Linda, you are a part of a mastermind group that I participate in, and your information, and you're a self-proclaimed propeller head, which means you're kind of a tech geek. And I've learned more about technology and hardware and software and shopping carts and internet applications from you. Then it's just been incredible. And we've been masterminding for probably 4 years now, I'd say, maybe even 5. I echo that it's awesome having all these different personalities and perspectives and knowledge all in one place. So it's really cool.
I like it how at the end of each mastermind we ask, how can we help you? And then if the person in the mastermind, 1 or 2 or 3, needs help, then we're able to help too. And that's really wonderful.
Definitely. Got a question from the audience for you, Linda. How did you find your first mastermind group 10 years ago?
Well, it was interesting. 10 years ago, I signed up for a financial group, and we went to this live seminar, and she put us in mastermind groups, and I had never heard of masterminding before. And so she put us in, and interestingly enough, my other mastermind that I have is one from 10 years ago.
So it's the same. You're still in the same group that you've been doing masterminding for 10 years?
A couple of them have dropped out, but yes.
Wow, that is awesome. That is really awesome.
Another thing is as being an entrepreneur, sometimes it's lonely. And this way you can reach out, and you have friends all over the United States. And it's amazing.
I hadn't even thought of that one. That's a great benefit. I should put that on my slide. Just creating relationships and friends everywhere. You're absolutely right. We have from coast to coast. We've got people in our mastermind group, don't we?
Right.
Well, that's great. Anything else you want to add about masterminding and the benefits, or encouraging people whether they should form or join a mastermind group before you sign off?
Well, I just think it's an amazing way to get quality, lifelong friends. I just love it.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Linda.
You're welcome.
All righty. So now we've learned a little bit about the history of Mastermind. We've talked about the benefits of masterminding. And by now, hopefully, you're really excited and you're rubbing your hands together going, okay, I want this for myself. How do I get started? So let's touch on that a little bit. How to get started masterminding. So first is to select quality mastermind partners. I love the Jim Rohn quote, and I quote it very frequently, that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I've seen it time and time again to be true. So if you're spending time with 5 other people and they're all, I don't know, losers, let's put it, you're probably going to be a loser. And if you're spending time with 5 people who are winners, who are successful, who are motivated individuals, who are doing big things and making big things happen, then you are going to be that type of person. So you should always look for mastermind partners who are, in your opinion, better than you and smarter than you, because they will lift you up to their level. So selecting good quality mastermind partners is important. Now, you can start your own mastermind group, and it can be as simple as finding 5, 6, 7 people and inviting them to say, hey, I'm going to start a mastermind group. Would you like to join me? Now, if they say, what's a mastermind group, then what you can do is send them a link to this recording, which I'll be sending a link out to the recording of this presentation. And you can send them a link to this recording and say, hey, spend 30 minutes, listen to this, and if this is for you, then come and join me. And come up with your own rules, and you can form your own group. And it's really not that complicated. And I've got some other tips and ideas that I can share with you later on about how to start your own if you'd like. Or you can join an existing one. Most mastermind groups evolve, and as Linda mentioned, ones that have been around for a long time, for various reasons, people will drop out of them. And it could be a life change, it could be a career change, schedule problems, whatever else. The mastermind group that Linda and I are in together actually evolved from 2 separate groups. That she had one and I had one, and they both, through various reasons, they were both getting too small, because you have to have more than probably 4 or 5 people or it doesn't work too well. And so we joined our 2 mastermind groups together and formed one that has been going strong for the last several years. And so there are existing mastermind groups that people might be participating in. If you know of someone, and say, hey, do you have an opening? Could I join? Good mastermind groups are usually open, if they're not too big already, open to having what I would call fresh blood, because new ideas, new perspectives, new energy is a very good thing for a mastermind group. And one that has the exact same people for too long can get stagnant, I think. So it's good to mix them up a little bit. So find an existing mastermind group, find somebody who already is masterminding, and ask to join. If you do start your own, set some ground rules. Okay, so how often does the mastermind group meet, and when does it meet, and where? Now, the mastermind groups that I participate in are virtual groups, so we meet on a teleconference bridge line. We don't meet in person, although we do meet in person when, from time to time, when we all happen to be going to the same conference or event, which has happened a couple of times, and we go out and have a great dinner and enjoy some time together, and that it can be really wonderful to get that face-to-face. Other people like to mastermind only face-to-face, so they form a group of local people, and they meet at a coffee shop or take turns meeting at each other's offices or homes, and it just kind of depends. Do you want a local one, or do you want a nationwide one and meet virtually? And the where, of course, is do you want to meet on the phone? Do you want to meet in person? How often can depend. Some people like mastermind groups that meet once a week, others that meet once a month, and there are even mastermind groups that meet once a quarter. Although my preference is our mastermind groups, both the ones I'm involved in, meet every other week on a Tuesday, and I actually managed to intertwine them so that every Tuesday I have a mastermind group. It just depends on which Tuesday it is, which group it is, and that's worked really, really well for me. So I like the twice a month format. You might like once a week, once a month. It's really up to you. The type of mastermind group, I touched on that a little bit earlier. There's an accountability kind of mastermind group, and then there's more of a creative or supportive type of mastermind group. That's important to determine, because some people might be interested in one and not the other. So determine what that's going to be before you join one or before you start your own. And then the format of the agenda of the mastermind group is very important. The particular format for one of my groups, and the one that Linda is involved in, is, again, it's more of a creative or supportive kind of mastermind group. We basically take a look at how many people are on the phone that day. We divide up how much time we each get based on a 1-hour call. And then each person goes around and they start with their wins. It's always important to celebrate your wins or successes. And you talk about what's gone really well in your business in the previous 2 weeks. And then we talk about, from there, we talk about things that might be happening or upcoming in the business currently or coming soon. And then the last thing we end with is, and we might even bring up problems or struggles or issues. And the last thing we bring up is requests for assistance, and that could be where you bring a question to the group or a problem to the group, and they work hard to help you resolve those. So you start with a win, then you go into kind of general updates, and then you go into problem solving and question answering time. And you each get, maybe 10 minutes. You might get 7 minutes. There's a lot of people on that day. You might get 15 if there's not too many. And as Linda also mentioned, about once every 6 weeks or so, we do a presentation where one member of the group comes and shares maybe a 15-minute presentation on their area of expertise. And by the way, I was really surprised when I was researching for today's webinar to learn that in Benjamin Franklin's Mastermind group, which was established over 300 years ago, that was one of the things that they did, is that once in 3 months produce and read an essay of his own writing on any subject he pleased. So completely accidentally, we are following in that one Mastermind group almost the exact format that Benjamin Franklin set 300 years ago. In my other group, the agenda is a little bit different. It's a little more of a focused group that has a specific objective. And so it's almost more of an accountability mastermind group because we all have a specific objective towards a movie that we're developing, a Hollywood-type movie. And so there's a little bit more of an accountability aspect to it. And we're all focused on making something happen. And we all have a common theme in that particular group. And so it's a little bit less about, we still celebrate the wins, we still bring up problems, but it's focused and there is some accountability to it because you do commit to doing certain things by a certain time, and there is an accountability aspect to the group when you come back on the following 2 weeks later. Okay, you said you would call this person, and this person, or make this happen, and where are you in the process? A little bit more of an accountability aspect to it. Both have their pluses and minuses for sure. So that's it. That's masterminding in a nutshell, and they are incredibly powerful. I hope you've seen the benefits of masterminding and have a few ideas about how to start a mastermind group. There's a lot of great information online. If you just Google how to start a mastermind group, you'll come up with some things. And I have some resources if you're interested in me sending you any information. And you can reach me at marty@midweekmomentum.com and just request any information you might need about a mastermind group. But I do highly encourage you to join one or form one because it is probably the single most important thing you will do to gain momentum in your business. So that's it. That's Marty's Midweek Momentum, and the topic today was the power of the mastermind. Please join me every week for Midweek Momentum at midweekmomentum.com. It's a free webinar to help you propel your business forward. If you have any questions, now is a great time to do it. I'm going to cut the recording off so that we have a nice piece for YouTube, and I'll send the link out when that's posted. But if you do have any other questions right now, would be a great time to share them. And there's two ways to ask questions. One is you can come on the line and talk directly to me. You can just hit your raise hand button, and I'll see your raised hand, and I will call on you, and you can come on the line and talk with me. Or you can use the question feature on the text box that's on your webinar control panel and send your question in that way. And we are running, we have about 7 more minutes before we have to run out. So let's see, questions. How can we become an affiliate to your business? Oh, Natalie, that's a great question. How you can become an affiliate to my business? Let's talk. I am always looking for referral partners. We have a couple of different services that we offer, and we do pay affiliate commissions, whether it be consulting or coaching or teleseminar and webinar production. So Natalie, if you send me a quick email to marty@midweekmomentum.com, marty@midweekmomentum.com, I will send you some information on how to become an affiliate for my business. I love nothing more than writing affiliate checks and referral checks to people who send me business, and it's a great way for everyone to benefit. So thanks for that question. I really appreciate it. Any other questions that we have today, either on the topic of mastermind groups or any other topic related to growing your business or propelling your business forward? All right, I'm not seeing any hands up, so that's Cool. We will get things wrapped up here in just a second then. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. I saw several people join late today, and that's okay. And we will be taking this session today and posting it to YouTube. And I will send the link out to you, and you'll be able to catch this from the beginning. I hope the information was valuable to you. Again, I'm very, very appreciative of all of you for taking time out of your day to join me, and hopefully the information that I give you every week is valuable. If there are any topics specifically that you want to learn about or have me share information or bring an expert on, please let me know. I'll be happy to try and accommodate you. And if you have information that you want to share with the audience that you think is beneficial, please let me know, and I'd be happy to have you on as a guest. So let me know about that as well. Well, with that, we're going to sign off, and I hope everyone has a fantastic day and do some great business. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.